The Diamondbacks seem to be finding their groove as of late. Will they complete the sweep? We're going to talk about it. This is Krusty Case with the Gold Boys Network here, coming to you with the slate preview for May 9th. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Sleeper Picks, but more on that later. Let's hop right into this one. The first game on our slate is the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Cincinnati Reds. This is Slade Ceasoni versus Hunter Green. This is a tricky one here for me because Ceasoni hasn't really been good. And obviously Hunter Green, we know he has great stuff, but struggles with his command at times. So it's tough to trust him and trust the Reds to get it done for that reason. But I think that's the way I'm going to go here. Ceasoni overall just hasn't been great. This Reds team scuffling a bit at the plate, but this could be kind of the matchup they need to get the bats going. Overall, though, like this Diamondbacks team, like I said, they've kind of hit their stride. They've won 2 in a row. The offense still looks a little like middle of the pack. And I think Hunter Green, he has the stuff to keep him in check, and just being able to, pound the fastball, which is a pitch that they struggle with. I think he pitches well here. I could see Hunter Green going into the 6th inning, even with his sporadic command. And for me, I just think the Reds get this one done. Ceasoni, I expect him to get hit around. I expect some traffic, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Diamondbacks go to the bullpen here relatively early. So give me Hunter Green K's, give me Cincinnati Reds on the money line. I think they pick up a win here. Our next one is the Seattle Mariners taking on the Minnesota Twins. This is Logan Gilbert versus Pablo Lopez. In this one for me here, I got to go with Pablo Lopez strikeouts. I think it's a great spot for him to rack them up. Seattle, 27.8% K rate versus right-handed pitching over the last 2 weeks. Bottom 10 contact rate, which is exactly what we're looking for here. Twins, surprisingly enough, have been relatively K-adverse for the last 2 weeks, just a 19.8% K rate. And they're really starting to swing the bats a little bit better. So Logan Gilbert, obviously a tough matchup. I'm going to lean like a first 5 under here. I think we see a pitcher's duel early. I like Pablo Lopez K's a lot. And in terms of a side, I'd roll with the Twins. It's going to be low scoring, probably like a 2-1 kind of game. But I like the Twins. I like their bullpen. I like Pablo Lopez. So I'll go with Minnesota here. Our next one is San Francisco Giants taking on the Colorado Rockies. This is Keaton Winn versus Cal Quantrill. Quantrill's coming off of that absolute masterclass versus the Pirates where he looked unhittable. You get a Giants team that overall isn't hitting, but they've been hitting pretty well in the series. So, I'll look to their team total here. I think they could put up runs against Cal. Cal in Colorado just kind of funnels splitters over and over again because it's the only thing he can really throw to kind of keep the ball in the ballpark. We are getting a total of just 9.5 here, which is obviously a rarity for Colorado, especially at Coors. But their offense has been so bad that their books are starting to adjust. So for me here, I'm going to go with the Giants on the money line. I think they complete the sweep of this series. The Rockies just aren't good. No matter how you want to look at it, WRC plus of just 68 over the last 2 weeks. They're not hitting. They're not having good at-bats. They're chasing out of the zone a ton, not making contact, not walking. Just everything you don't want a team to do, they're doing. So we'll go with the Giants here. Don't love Keaton Winn, but I just think at this point, you cannot pay anyone to back the Rockies.
Wait, before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the Gold Boys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the Gold Boys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks.
Our next one is the Houston Astros taking on the New York Yankees. It's Ronel Blanco versus Marcus Stroman. Stroman scuffling as of late, scuffling for the majority of the season. And I don't think it gets any easier here. This Astros team, obviously top to bottom, extremely dangerous. They gave a few guys the day off in this last game. So I'm expecting their normal lineup for this one. And I just think that they're going to give Stroman some problems. His biggest issue has been command actually this year, which in years past, he was actually one of the most efficient pitchers in baseball. So against this Astros team who, while they are aggressive at the plate, they do know how to work the count, and you will see certain guys like Bregman and Jordan, working at deep at bats. I just think Stroman struggles here. I don't love backing Ronel Blanco. He's obviously been really good, the no-hitter early in the season. This Yankees team's starting to get hot. So for me here, I lean to the Astros, very small. but I'm probably not something I'm going to put money on because I don't trust Ronaldo to hold down the Yankees in this current state. What's going on, everybody? I just want to take this moment to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Sleeper Picks. Thank you for sponsoring this video, and don't forget you can use code GOALBOYS for a $500 deposit match on your first deposit. Thank you, Sleeper Picks, for sponsoring this video. Now back to the bets. Our next one is the Cleveland Guardians versus Chicago White Sox. This is Ben Lively versus Eric Fetty, and you gotta give me the Guardians here. Ben Lively, not great. He's looked decent for the Guardians. This is his first season back in the majors in I believe 2 years, and he's looked serviceable. Gets the White Sox team kind of scrappy. They did avoid the sweep against Tampa, but it's just a brutal travel spot. They got to travel from Florida back to Chicago. You got Cleveland who had to travel as well, but they're just traveling from Ohio. So I'll go with the Guardians here. I wish they had Quan in the lineup because it just makes this offense hum a little more, but I don't see how they don't get this one done. Fetty, he's been serviceable. Definitely like the most consistent pitcher on the White Sox staff this season, but that's not saying much for a team that's won 9 games. So I'll go with the Guardians here. They're likely going to be favored on the road, and they should be. Our next one is the St. Louis Cardinals taking the Milwaukee Brewers. This is Sonny Gray versus Tobias Myers. And this one's a little tricky for me because Sonny Gray was supposed to pitch against the Mets, but the game got rained out. He was warming up prior to that game, and I'm always a little weary backing a starter who was kind of like getting hot, getting ready to go in the game, and then now he has to wait until the next day and do it all over again. We saw the Diamondbacks with Jordan Montgomery, a similar situation where they had that B delay, and they ended up pushing his start back, and then when he had to start the next day, they actually ended up limiting him because they were concerned about injury. So you got Sonny Gray, who entered this season and on the injured list, and he's looked really good, but I wouldn't be surprised if Marmol and the Cardinals are a little more cautious with him here just because you don't want him to get hurt. He's far and above their best pitcher, and this early in the season, I expect them to err on the side of caution. So I do have a small lean with the Cardinals. I'd probably go first 5 because I would assume Sonny Gray's going to go 5 innings, regardless if he's limited in any capacity or what. In terms of strikeouts, I do like Sonny Gray strikeouts. It would just depend on the number, though, because like I said, I could definitely see him being limited in some capacity here, just to try to avoid injury. Tobias Myers has not been good. He gets a Cardinals team that now down Wilson Contreras. It's another, a power bat in their lineup they don't have. I don't love this offense. They're kind of old and just not really hitting well. So, like I said, I'll go Cardinals first 5, and I'm going to back Sonny Gray just to shut down this Milwaukee team. But don't be surprised if it's 1-0 at the end of 5. The last one on this slate is the Kansas City Royals taking on Los Angeles Angels. This is Michael Wacha versus Reed Detmers, and it's a gross game, but you got to give me the first 5 under here. So you get Michael Wacha, who, ground ball specialist, going to see a ton of off speed, ton of sinkers. I like him against this Angels team that's just without a lot of their guys. No Rendon, no Trout, Rengifo, he's back, but then he was out again, so I'm not sure if he's going to play. And they're just missing too many of their key cogs here for this offense, in my opinion. So I think Wacha can hold this team down in the first 5. Flip side, you got Reed Detmers, who kind of been a mixed bag this season, like a lot of these guys, have been. But I like him here because you get a Royals team that over the last 2 weeks, RC plus just 55 versus left-handed pitching. So really struggling to find any kind of consistency against lefties. And I think that continues here. This will be likely a getaway day, so I don't see how they generate offense here. And I envision this one being a little bit of a snooze fest, 0-0, 1-0 kind of game at the end of 5. And that's more than fine with me because I don't trust the bullpens beyond that. So give me the first 5 under. Maybe a small lean to the under Ks for both guys, truthfully, because I think we're just going to see a lot of soft contact here. But don't love either pitcher enough to really back them specifically. So I'll just roll with the first 5 under and back these offenses to continue to not do anything. That does conclude this slate. Small slate, Thursday, typically always small slate kind of day. But I think we got some good looks. If you guys do me a favor, drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys are liking. I'd love to read them. As always, you can get my plays at goldboys.com. And if you have a gambling problem, tell 1-800-GAMBLER. Thank you, guys.